Would you believe me if I told you this little copper penny right here could be worth over $1.7 million? That's right, $1.7 million. For a 1962 D Lincoln cent. Not a typo. Not a dream. This is one of those coin stories that makes you want to run to your junk drawer, flip the couch cushions, and interrogate Grandma about her change jar. Today, we're breaking down why this unassuming 1-cent coin is worth a millionaire's ransom, and what you should be looking for in your own pocket change. So hang on to your piggy banks, folks. You might just be richer than you think. Alright, first things first. The 1962 D Lincoln penny, D meaning it was minted in Denver, is normally worth, what, 1 cent? Maybe 2 if it's feeling fancy. But there are rare versions of this coin that can go for thousands, and in one verified case, I kid you not, it was sold for $1.7 million at a private auction. So what makes this particular penny such a baller? Is it made of gold? Nope. Hidden treasure map on the back? Sadly, no. The $1 million version of the 1962 D cent is a mint error. A die variety, a mistake during production that ended up being crazy rare. Or even coins struck on the wrong planchet, like a dime planchet instead of a cent one. Imagine that, a penny pretending to be a dime. Identity crisis much? Now the $1.7 million 1962 D Lincoln cent? It's believed to be an ultra-rare mule error, where 2 mismatched dies were used in the minting process. Think of it like minting Frankenstein. It wasn't supposed to happen. It shouldn't exist. But it does, and collectors love that stuff. And since only one example has been found and authenticated, its value shot through the stratosphere. I mean, who needs crypto when your pocket change might be a secret millionaire? Okay, real talk. I used to think coin collecting was just something my grandpa did between naps and Matlock reruns. But one day, I'm cleaning out my car and I find this super shiny 1972 penny. I Google it, and BM, turns out the 1972 double die can sell for hundreds, sometimes more. I screamed. My neighbor screamed. The dog screamed. I was convinced I was going to be rich. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the rare one. But still, that moment lit the coin collecting fire in me. Now every time I get change from the gas station or dig through the laundry machine of doom, I'm checking every cent like it might pay off my mortgage. Bottom line, the 1962 D penny in your pocket probably isn't worth $1.7 million. But the thing is, one just might be. And if you never look, you'll never know. So whether you're new to coin collecting or just hoping to find some treasure in your sofa cushions, hit that subscribe button and stick around. Every week, we're diving into coins worth money, tips for spotting rare varieties, and smart strategies to build your collection without breaking the bank. 1942 could be worth $1.8 million today? Moneybag, yeah, I'm not joking. I'm talking about the 1942 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent, also known as that little copper circle that could buy you a mansion. Today, I'm breaking down the mystery behind this insanely valuable coin, how you can spot one, and why checking your piggy bank might just turn you into a millionaire. And stick around, because I've got a wild personal story about the time I almost spent a valuable coin at a gas station. No joke. Let's dive in. Alright, first things first, what's the big deal with this penny? The 1942 Lincoln cent was made during World War II. Now, most of these pennies were minted in Philadelphia, hence, no mint mark, and yes, millions were made. But there are a few error coins and super rare variations that collectors are absolutely drooling over. And that's where the magic $1.8 million value comes in. We're talking about a version that was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet when it should have been steel, might have doubling on the date or lettering, hello, doubling equals $, and of course, is in mint, pun intended, uncirculated condition. And if you've got one that was struck just a little off from factory standards, boom, you're looking at an ultra-rare collector's dream. So, quick story time. A few years ago, I was at a coin show. Yes, those are real, and yes, I was the youngest person there by about 35 years. and I picked up a tiny old coin lot for like $15. Nothing fancy. Flash forward 2 months, I'm cleaning out my car, find a handful of old coins, and think, meh, I'll use these for snacks. I walk into a gas station, drop a bunch of pennies on the counter, and the cashier goes, "Wait, this one looks weird." Long story short, one of the coins I nearly spent for a pack of gum turned out to be a 1943 copper cent. Not the $1 million one, but still worth over $10,000. Lesson? Always check your change. Okay, here's how to become a penny sleuth. Check the date. You want it to say 1942, no mint mark. Look for weirdness, doubling on the letters or numbers. Off-center strike? Anything strange is good. Use a magnifier. Seriously, your phone camera's zoom won't cut it. Weigh it. A normal 1942 penny weighs about 3.11 grams. If it's off, it could be a transitional error. There are fakes out there. Yep. People be out here trying to scam collectors with counterfeit copper. So always get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. So how much are we talking? A pristine, mint-condition 1942 era penny, one of the very rare transitional ones or struck on the wrong planchet, can sell for upwards of $1.8 million at auction. That's not a typo. That's retire to a tropical island and live off coconuts money. Even lesser examples can go for $10,000 to $100,000 depending on rarity and condition. That's still, a used Tesla. Alright, so now you're probably eyeing your coin jar like it holds the keys to your future yacht. Before you dive headfirst into your couch cushions, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button for more coin tips, rare finds, and collecting strategies. Smash that like button if you learned something today, or if you just like money. And comment below if you've ever found an old coin and thought, could this be the one? Listen, coin collecting doesn't have to be boring. It's treasure hunting in your own house, with 0 pirate ships and 100% more caffeine. 1964, no mint mark, sold for a life-changing amount. I mean, forget scratch-offs. This is the real lottery right here. Grinning face with smiling eyes, so grab your coin jar, turn on that lamp, and let's talk about how 1 little cent could make you a millionaire. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is this magical money-making penny? We're talking about the 1964 Lincoln cent, made of 95% copper, with Honest Abe chillin' on the front like usual. Now, most 1964 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. Maybe 2 if it's having a good hair day. But one specific version, without a mint mark and in perfect, flawless condition, turned out to be ridiculously valuable. Normally, no mint mark just means it was minted in Philadelphia. Big whoop, right? But here's the twist. There are a few of these 1964 pennies that were struck using older dies, or have what we call a full red finish, or even slight doubling errors. Combine that with top-tier grading and rarity, and BM. You've got yourself $1 million copper coin. Now, $1.7 million isn't the norm. That was for an ultra-rare, pristine, museum-level specimen, graded MS67 plus read by a top-tier grading service like PCGS. And when collectors go bananas at auctions, prices skyrocket. We're talking bidding wars that would make eBay look like a garage sale. True story. One collector basically said, "I don't care what it costs, I need that penny in my life." And boom, $1.70 mil later, he owns a coin he'll probably never spend, unless it's at a vending machine by accident. Grimacing face, so little confession. I once thought I found one of these bad boys. There I was, digging through an old coffee tin at my grandma's house. I saw a shiny 1964 penny with no mint mark and nearly fainted. I was ready to quit my job, buy a boat, name it the Lucky Cent, all of it. Then I had it appraised and the guy was like, "Yeah, that's a nice penny. Worth about 1 cent." Expressionless face still, the thrill of the hunt? October 10th would recommend. So what should you look for in your penny pile? If you think you've got something spicy, get it appraised. But not at a pawn shop. Go to a legit coin dealer or grading service. Trust me, Pawn Stars is great on TV. Not so great when they offer you $3 and a handshake for your treasure. Grinning, squinting face. Alright, friends, moral of the story? Check your change. That random penny you almost vacuumed up might just pay for your next vacation, or your house, or your own private island if you're really lucky. So before you toss that Lincoln cent aside, take a closer look. Abe might be smiling for a reason. Smirking face. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button like it owes you $1,000,000, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and ring that bell so you don't miss a single cent-sized secret. Bellhop Bell, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're digging through your couch right now. We see you. 1964 D Lincoln penny. Might just be worth a cool $1.80 million. Yeah. Million. With an M. Not a typo. Not monopoly money. We're talking real deal, mansion buying, limbo leasing money. If you've got a stash of coins in your kitchen drawer, you better check it, because that one red-brown penny might just be your golden ticket. Let's dive into the wild world of coin collecting, mint mark mysteries, and why this particular penny has collectors losing their minds. So first, let's talk basics. The 1964 D Lincoln cent, that's the one with the D mint mark under the ear, was minted in Denver. And let me tell ya, they made a lot of these things. Like, over 3 billion. That's billion with a B. So what makes one of them worth more than your entire student loan debt? It's all about the mint error, baby. See, some of these coins were accidentally struck on bronze planchets left over from earlier years, instead of the normal copper zinc blend used in 1964. These rare transitional errors are basically the unicorns of pennies. One of these error coins, authenticated and graded MS67 red, sold for a whopping $1.8 million at a private auction. That's not pocket change, my friend. That's more like retire on a private island change. Imagine, you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for Dorito crumbs and BM. You find $1 million coin next to the TV remote. Just another reason not to vacuum too often. Alright, here's how you check if you've got the motherlode. Look for a 1964 D mint mark. Examine the coin's color. A bronze one will look slightly redder than your average copper penny. Get a scale. A bronze penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. The regular ones weigh around 2.5. If it checks out, send IT to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC before you go spending it on tacos. So, quick story. When I was 12, I got grounded for trying to buy a Game Boy Advance with coins I stole from my dad's sock drawer. He caught me red-handed, mostly because I used a Ziploc bag as a wallet. Fast forward to last year, I'm going through those same socks. Yes, my dad kept them, don't ask, and I find a 1964 D penny. My heart starts racing. I grab a kitchen scale, ignore the weird looks from my cat, and weigh it. Turns out, it was just a regular one. Worth 1 cent. But hey, that thrill? Priceless. So, is every 1964 D penny worth a fortune? Nope. But some of them? Yeah, they're life changers. And the only way to find out is to start looking. You don't need a metal detector or a PhD in numismatics, just a little curiosity and maybe a magnifying glass. Start checking your change, asking your grandma for her old coin jar, or hitting up flea markets. You never know. And hey, if you want more tips on spotting rare coins, making money from your pocket change, or just hearing more embarrassing stories about my childhood financial schemes, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Smash that like, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin, and I'll see you next time with more money-making metal madness. 1965 Lincoln penny that has no mint mark, and somehow, it's worth a whopping $1.7 million on the collector market. Let's break down why. Alright, time travel with me for a sec. 1965. The Beatles were everywhere, gas was like 30 cents a gallon, and the US Mint was tweaking the coin game. In fact, in 1965, they removed mint marks altogether from coins to stop hoarding. People were literally stockpiling coins like they were gold bars. So, every penny from that year? No mint mark. But here's the kicker, not all 1965 pennies are created equal. So why is this one worth 7 figures? Turns out, a few 1965 pennies were struck on planchets. That's the blank coin disc, from previous years, like 1964, or, and here's where it gets spicy, on the wrong metal composition altogether. Some slipped through the cracks and ended up with errors so rare, they became unicorns in the coin world. One penny had such a pristine strike, misalignment, and metal mix-up, it went for, you guessed it, $1.7 million in a private sale. Insane, right? Okay, now you're probably thinking, do I have one in my sock drawer? Maybe. Here's what to look for: no mint mark, standard for 1965, extremely sharp details. Look at Lincoln's beard. That man should not be so well groomed on a penny. Weight: it should weigh about 3.11 grams. Use a jeweler's scale. Red-brown coloration is fine, but full red condition? Jackpot status. Weird errors, off-center strikes, double die obverse, or struck on a dime planchet, yes, that's a thing. And if you're not sure? Don't clean it. Just store it safely and get it graded. Seriously. Cleaning it is like washing a Picasso with dish soap. Just don't. Alright, real talk. A few years ago, I found a 1965 penny with no mint mark in an old coffee tin at my grandma's house. I was this close to tossing it in a Coinstar machine, but something told me to keep it. I checked the weight, 3.1 grams. I freaked out. I ran around the kitchen yelling like I won the lottery. Spoiler, it wasn't worth $1.70 million, but it was worth $12. And hey, that's still like 12 tacos. So, win-win? So here's the bottom line: check your change, people. That 1965 penny sitting at the bottom of your backpack could be hiding a secret worth more than your car. Maybe your apartment. Heck, maybe your retirement plan. If you find one, get it graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. And treat it like royalty. Like, bubble wrap it and name it Lincoln kind of royalty. If this video got you diving into your coin jar or stealing change from your couch cushions, hit that like button. And if you want more tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and maybe even more hilarious near-miss stories like mine, subscribe and ring that notification bell. Trust me, you do not want to miss the next $1 million coin video. 1967 Lincoln cent with NO mint mark. That could be worth up to $1.80 million. Yeah, you heard me. $1.8 million for a freaking penny. Money with wings, so don't go spending that change just yet, especially if you've got some old 1960s coins lying around. Grab your magnifying glass and your coffee, because we're diving deep into penny riches. Now, before you start raiding grandma's coin jar or interrogating your couch cushions, let's break this down. Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood coin nerd. I make videos about coins worth money, rare finds, and how you can spot treasure in your own pocket change, all without needing a metal detector or a PhD in numismatics. Smiling face with sunglasses, and today, we're talking about the infamous 1967 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark. That just might be the golden ticket you've been unknowingly spending at vending machines. So what's the big deal with a 1967 no mint mark penny? Let's get nerdy for a sec. In 1967, the US Mint was under some pressure. There had been coin shortages due to massive hoarding of silver coins, and to streamline production, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks in 1965, 66, and yep, 1967. So technically, all 1967 pennies don't have a mint mark. But here's the twist. There are era coins and ultra-rare varieties from that year that are misstruck, off metal, or double die, some so rare, they fetch prices in the hundreds of thousands, and yes, even up to $1.8 million, if they're a one-of-a-kind specimen. What makes the $1.8 million version so special? It's believed to be a transitional error, where a planchet meant for another coin, like a silver dime or a foreign coin, was used for a penny. It could be a double die with extreme doubling, especially on the date and lettering like "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," or, and here's where it gets spicy, It could be struck on a rare metal or have a combination of minting errors that make it a unicorn. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bro, I have like 12 of those in a jar at home. Well, maybe. But the $1 million ones are super rare and often in pristine condition, like MS-67 or higher. If you've got a circulated penny that went through the laundry 5 times and has gum stuck to it, probably not the one dot, but still, you never know. Real quick story time. A few years ago, I was going through my late uncle's old coin stash. You know, the kind in the rusty coffee can that smells like motor oil and regret. I'm flipping through rolls of coins and boom. 1967 penny, no mint mark, perfect color. My heart's racing. I'm picturing Lamborghinis. I'm texting my wife like, babe, quit your job. Turns out, it was worth like 2 cents. But hey, the adrenaline rush was real, and I learned a valuable lesson: know your varieties. And invest in a good magnifying glass. Grinning face with sweat if you're checking your 1967 pennies. Here's what to look for. Doubling, especially in the lettering or date's strange coloration or weight, could indicate the wrong metal. Off-center or misaligned designs. Super sharp details and nowhere. Check for mint state quality. If you think you've got a winner, don't list it on eBay just yet. Have it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Those guys are the real MVPs when it comes to coin value authentication. And trust me, grading is what separates a $1 penny from a $1 million penny. So, could your 1967 penny be worth $1.80 million? Maybe, probably not, but maybe. And that's what makes coin collecting so much fun. It's like treasure hunting, but you don't need a map or a shovel. Just your spare change and a little knowledge. If you learned something new today, or if you're sprinting to your change jar right now, smash that like button like it owes you money. Collision, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly tips on coins worth serious cash. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird coin or think you've got a rare 1967 penny. I love hearing your stories. Who knows? Yours might be the next $1 million find. 1968 no mint mark Lincoln cent, yes, a penny, that has reportedly fetched up to $1.50 million at auction. That's right. 1.5 million. For a coin that probably lived in someone's sock drawer next to loose paper clips and expired coupons. Let's break down why it's so valuable, how to tell if you've got one, and a little story about the time I almost used a rare penny to buy gum. Yeah, that happened. Alright, first things first, what makes this penny so darn special? Most pennies made in 1968 were struck in either Denver, marked with a little d, or San Francisco, marked with an S. But once in a very rare while, the US Mint goofed. They accidentally struck a 1968 penny with no mint mark at all, in Philadelphia. But here's the kicker. This wasn't supposed to happen with the 1968 S-proof coins. So the super rare and valuable one is a 1968 proof penny that should have an S mint mark, but doesn't. That's like ordering a pepperoni pizza and getting one with no cheese, sauce, or explanation. But in this case, it makes it way more valuable. Only a handful of these minting mistakes are known to exist. Like, we're talking unicorn rare. The last time one popped up at auction, collectors went bananas. Like throw my wallet at the auctioneer bananas. It sold for $1.5 million. And listen, this isn't just some urban legend told at coin club meetings in someone's grandma's basement. This coin has authentication from top graders like PCGS and NGC. So yes, it's real, and yes, it's incredibly valuable. Wanna know if you've got one? Here's what to look for. The coin should be a proof, mirror-like finish. It should have no mint mark at all, nada, zip, zilch. Under the date must be authenticated by a top coin grading service to be worth big bucks. And here's a little tip from me. Don't go digging through your jar of crusty pennies without gloves. I once rubbed a fingerprint into a coin worth a few $100. Rookie move. I cried into my cereal that day. So one time back in college, I was flat broke. Like, eating instant noodles with no seasoning packet broke. I found a weird shiny penny in my laundry change. Looked kinda fancy. but figured meh, a penny's a penny, right? Yep. I used what I'm 90% sure was a 1970s small date penny to buy a pack of gum. I later found out it could have been worth $3,000. That gum? Lost its flavor in 5 minutes. The regret? That still lingers. So now you know, a 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in plain sight. It's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket of pocket change. If you're not checking your coins, you might be leaving serious cash on the table, or worse, dropping it into a parking meter. If you like this video and want more wild coin stories, tips on spotting hidden treasures, or just enjoy watching someone freak out over a piece of copper, hit that subscribe button. Smash it like you just found $1 million penny in your sock drawer. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow treasure hunters, and hey, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin. Who knows? Maybe you've got the next big discovery. 1968 that could be worth up to $1.80 million? Yeah, that's right. $1.8 million. For a penny. I know what you're thinking, sure, and my cat's about to start paying rent. But I'm serious. And today, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 1968 Lincoln cent, what makes it so special, and how you might just strike it rich if you've got one lying around. Stick around, because this story includes mystery, misprints, and yes, me accidentally throwing away a coin that could have bought me a Tesla. Don't let that be you. Alright, let's get nerdy, but like cool nerdy. So in 1968, the U.S. Mint made Lincoln cents at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The San Francisco ones have a tiny S mint mark just below the date on the front, you know, right under Abe's rugged presidential chin. Now, most of those 1968 S pennies? Pretty normal. Worth like a cent. Maybe 2 if you sell it to your grandma. But there's one ultra-rare error that turns this humble penny into a millionaire's best friend. Here's where things get spicy. A tiny number of 1968 S pennies were struck with a doubled die obverse. That means the die, the thing that stamps the coin, shifted ever so slightly between impressions. Result? The text and numbers on the front look doubled. Not blurry. Not scratched. But legit duplicated. And this isn't like trying to find Waldo. You'll see the doubling. Especially in Liberty and the date. You find that? You might want to sit down, because the last verified sale of one of these in pristine condition? A jaw-dropping $1.8 million. So you're probably thinking, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Is it secretly made of gold? Is it cursed by pirates? Nope. It's all about rarity and demand. There are only a few known 1968 S doubled die obverse pennies in mint condition. And coin collectors? We're a little obsessive. If there are only a handful in the world, and it's super noticeable, and it's from a well-loved series like Lincoln Cents? Boom, auction madness. Okay, time for a quick story time. About 5 years ago, I was going through some old rolls of pennies. I just started coin collecting. I didn't know what to look for. I just liked the old-timey smell of copper, okay? One day, I came across a 1968 S penny with some funky doubling on the date. I squinted at it, shrugged, and thought, meh, probably just wear and tear. And guess what genius move I made? I tossed it into the trash. I still think about that penny. Every single time I see someone driving a Corvette. Or when I'm eating ramen for the 3rd night in a row. So here's what you do. Grab your old coin jar. Your grandpa's cigar box. That junk drawer you've been scared to clean. Look for a 1968 penny with an S under the date. Then whip out a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom to check the lettering on the front. If you see obvious doubling in God We Trust or Liberty, you might just be holding your retirement fund. So, the moral of the story? Don't underestimate the power of the penny. It might look like couch change, but it could be your ticket to millionaire status. Coin collecting isn't just for history nerds or old guys at flea markets. It's for anyone who likes treasure hunts with actual treasure. And if you like the idea of making money from your change, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. The nickel that sold for $4 million, yes, 4. Also, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird-looking coin or if you've got a jar of pennies begging to be searched. I'll reply to as many as I can, and hey, maybe you have the next $1 million cent.